Hello everybody and well done for doing your homework. So in this video we're going to be looking at Island Man by Grace Nichols. So before we start you're going to need the copy of the poem I gave you and two different colour pens. If you haven't got them, go and get them, pause the video. Okay, so you should now have everything you need to do this video, to do your homework. So this poem, to give you a bit of background, is about a Caribbean person who's moved to London, and it's about them waking up from a dream of their homeland. So, first of all, let's hear the poem. I can't do the accent, so I found this video on BBC Bitesize. So listen to this, and then we'll come back.
Morning. An island man wakes up to the sound of blue surf in his head. The steady breaking and woman, while the seabirds and fishermen pushing out at sea, the sun surfacing defiantly from the east of his small emerald island. He always comes back groggily. Comes back to sands of a grey metallic soar, to surge of wheels, to dull north circular roar, muffling his crumpled pillow waves. Island man heaves himself. Another London day.
So, there's the poem. What that recording really shows, I think, is the difference between this nice relaxing Caribbean atmosphere and then London, and that's something we're going to be thinking about a bit later on. So, this is what the poem looks like. Your first task, when I say, you're going to pause the video, and in one colour you're going to underline all of the things that refer to the Caribbean, and in another colour you're going to underline all of the things where he's talking about London. So do that now. Okay, so you should have done that, and hopefully you've got something looking a little bit like this. So, if you look here, I've done the sand colour for the Caribbean and the blue colour for London, and if you've got anything that I've missed, come and tell me in class. I'd be really interested to see what you've come up with. So first of all, look at the differences here. So you've got at the top bit, you've got this lovely big section of Caribbean, and then you've got all the London bit at the bottom. But look also how they contrast. So first of all, look at the colours. So up here you've got this idea of this blue surf, of this sea, and the idyllic nature of that. And down here you've got the colour grey. So think about the connotations of those colours, like what's exciting, is it boring? What's the poet trying to tell us about the difference between these two places? Next, think about the sound. So here we've got the sound of the waves steadily breaking. Whereas here we've got the surge of wheels on the North Circular Road. Once again, what do you think Grace Nichols is trying to say to us about London and the Caribbean? Also, just think about as well, how nice does it sound? Where you've got all these things I've just talked about, and you've got the seabirds and the fishermen and the beautiful sun and this small emerald island with sand. Then you've got this grey metallic road, this noise in your head, and this crumpled pillow. Doesn't sound really very inviting, does it? Doesn't sound like somewhere you want to spend time. So think about that contrast. And secondly, another interesting thing we've got is you've got this bit of repetition here, groggily, and then again here you've got muffling. What do you think the effect of that is? Why has the poet done that? And think about the background, think about this person's waking from a dream. Think about what is it to be groggy and this muffling, trying to muffle this sound. And then I think another thing I want to look at is this one-line stanza, another London day. Why does Nichols decide to end her poem like that? It's quite short, whereas this is all quite poetic and it's nice, and where it's just another London day. What's the effect of that? Why has she done that? Finally, have a look what isn't there in this poem. There's not a single piece of punctuation. If you look, one line flows into another, one stanza flows into another, into another, into another, and then this final one. That's a technique called enjambement, where a poet doesn't use punctuation between lines or stanzas and they just flow together. Why do you think Nichols has decided to do that? Why has she decided that's the way she wants to show her in her poem? Okay, so now you've done that, your final task before coming to class is I want you to look at these 4 structural features. I want you to pick 2 of them. So you've got contrast, we've just discussed, repetition, the one-line stanza, and enjambement. That's your challenge factor. If you can go for that, I'll be impressed. So good luck. So what I want you to do, pick out some key quotes. So where can we see that contrast? Where can we see that repetition? Where is the one-line stanza? How best could you show evidence of enjambment? So pick out these key quotes and then make some notes about them. So I want to know, what do they suggest? Why has the poet done them? What can it tell us about maybe the poet's intention? What is the poet trying to show us? What is she trying to make us see? So I also think about, what effect does it have on you as a reader? Where do you want to be? Do you want to be asleep in this dream? Or do you want to be in this London where it's bustling and it's noisy? Think about that and think about how the poet has made you think all of those things. So when you come to class, what you should have is a highlighted poem with 2 quotes picked out and a decent amount of notes on all of them. And what we're going to do is we're going to use all of these notes to practice writing PEs. So we're going to write 2 PEs and we're going to really practice and get better at it. So my advice to you, go back, watch the video again, do all of the legwork now. Save yourself some time in lessons where I can help you write the best PEs that you can. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you in lesson.